Off the Trails. I'm the Cryptid Huntress, Jessica Jones, and I'm ready to take you on a mysterious journey right now. We welcome you to Off the Trails right here on the Spaced Out Radio's YouTube channel. If you guys haven't hit subscribe yet, please do. We would love to have y'all. And shout out to Bumblefoot for that awesome intro music. I always appreciate that. You guys can follow us on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio, on Instagram at Spaced Out Radio Show, and on TikTok at Spaced Out Radio. You guys can find me at thecryptidhuntress.com, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Cryptid Huntress, where I have amazing shows twice a week, actually, on there. Live shows every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern and on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. All right. Also, if you'd like to support what I do, please join my Patreon. That is the Cryptid Huntress over there on Patreon. And also, I've got War Woman Goods on Etsy. And I would love for you guys to go purchase some beautiful Native American vintage turquoise jewelry. That's what I sell. And it's pretty cool. It helps do what I like, keep me in business over here. Okay, so y'all go support what I do. I would really appreciate that. Also, I will be speaking at the Georgia Bigfoot Conference this Saturday. That's in Dillard, Georgia, at the Dillard House. Y'all, please come see me there. I thought I had it on a ticker. I guess not. All right. And also, I'm going to be at the Las Vegas Spaced Out Radio fan party. That's May the 19th through the 21st at the Golden Nugget. We're going to be broadcasting live. It's going to be a great time. I know there's some people in chat tonight. I know at least one that's going to be there for sure. And it is going to be a really great time. Now, if you'd like a VIP pass to go to that, please send an email to info@spacedoutradio.com and let us know that you're coming so we can get you a swag bag with a bunch of SOR merch and access to that VIP party on Friday night, okay, at the Golden Nugget. All right, and get your tickets now because those hotel rooms are booked. There's like some kind of techno EDM concert going on, all sorts of stuff. So there's a lot going on. Book your room and your flight now and come see us. All right. Also, I'm going to be at the Journey to Truth conference. That's May the 22nd through the 25th. I'm presenting there on cryptids and remote viewing. And it is going to be amazing. So y'all come see me up in Grafton, Illinois. Okay. All right. Well, I have some fantastic guests here at Spaced Out Radio tonight. I have Zook and Drewski of Cryptid Warfare Podcast in the studio tonight. And don't forget that right after this show, After Hours has an amazing program set up for us. All right, so let's get to our guest tonight. All right, Zook is an entrepreneur and cryptozoological, I can't talk tonight, researcher with a keen interest in exploring the unknown and the unexplained. He's a devoted follower of Christ who believes in living a life that's true to his faith. He's an outdoorsman, a thrill seeker, and has an insatiable thirst for knowledge. Zook is a natural networker with an ability to connect with people from all walks of life. Drewski is a warrior of the Almighty whose devotion to Christ is unwavering. He understands that in his spiritual battlefield, or this spiritual battlefield, it's all of our battlefield, right, y'all? Living a life that's true to his faith is crucial. He previously served in the law enforcement field for 7 years and has worked as part of SWAT for about 5 of those years. During his time in law enforcement, he served as squad leader and helped with tracking and escape teams to find convicts, which helps with Bigfooting, by the way. And he's had extensive experience in bushcraft and survival with over 20 years of knowledge in the field. He also has over 10 years of experience in Bigfoot and cryptid field research. And so I just love these guys. I follow them on social media, in their YouTube channel and everything. So I suggest that everybody go subscribe to their follow their podcast, subscribe to their YouTube channel and all their social media platforms. So please help me welcome to the show tonight. We've got Zook, Z-Baby, and Drewski.
Hey everybody.
Oh, you're here, Drew? Okay.
Zook, where you at, man?
You know, no, I'm stuck in my closet somewhere.
You guys are in closets. I like that.
I'm actually in my garage. It's like my manscaped.
Yeah, you win, Drew. Just stop bragging.
Oh my gosh, that is fancy, you guys. Well, I'm in when my son was a baby. I'm in his baby's room. It's a tiny little closet room, so it gets better acoustics, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, you guys are awesome. I don't know how we connected. I guess I just saw Cryptid Warfare and I was like, oh, I like warfare and cryptids. So, yeah, it was an automatic connection there. So, thank you all so much for being here at Spaced Out Radio tonight. This is super exciting for me. And I hope you guys are. I hope you guys are ready to talk some cryptids tonight.
Oh,
Let's do this
it.
thing.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Are y'all ready? Okay.
Thanks
Awesome.
once again for letting us be on here.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank y'all for being here. And you know, with cryptid warfare, when I hear cryptid warfare, I think of spiritual warfare. And I know you guys are just super devoted to Christ and very religious in many ways. And there is like this battle for like good and evil right now, right? And
Yes.
and perhaps it kind of leaks into the cryptid field a little bit. And so I thought that would be interesting to talk to you guys about tonight. And maybe hear about some of your personal experiences with cryptids, especially Bigfoot, Sasquatch, and stuff like that. Because y'all cover all the cryptids on your shows. I'm pretty impressed because I talk about all the cryptids on my shows, first of all, okay? And you're like giants, from giants to Dogman. And I know y'all have had some of my friends on your shows, like Nick
That-
Valente.
Yeah. Valente, Ed Brown, love you guys.
Ed Brown. Yes, Ed. I sent Ed the link to the show, so maybe he's watching tonight. Yeah, we've got some of the same friends. And I noticed that you guys were up at the Dogman conference last year up in Paris, Tennessee. And you guys are my brethren, Southern gentlemen. Okay, I'm down here in Georgia. Y'all are Tennessee.
Yeah.
And yeah, tell me about that. Yeah, tell me about going up to the Dogman conference last year.
I'll let you start, Drew.
One of y'all,
You're
yeah.
a beautiful storyteller. Drewski.
So what did you want to know? What was that? Because it kind of glitched out.
I just want to know about it. Yeah, did you guys were y'all just into Dogman or just? I know you're into cryptids, but what made you go up to that conference?
Okay, so what happened with that is I have another. Okay, I actually have two Instagram accounts. I got one for Cryptid Warfare I run, and then I have another. Tagging. It's called Drew's Tags, and I just started, just putting out my art, and I actually spray paint cryptids. I tag cryptids, stuff like that. So it's something I'm really into. And then if any of you guys listen to the Confessionals, it's with Tony Merkel.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, yeah, he actually liked a lot of my stuff, and he hit me up one day and he's like, "Hey man, I love your art. It's awesome. I'm going to Josh's first annual Dogman conference going on." He goes, "I don't have any merch whatsoever." He goes, "So if you can kind of help me out, I know it's kind of short notice, but if you can help me out." I'm like, "Dude, I'm there, bro. I got you." So
I like that.
So basically I told Zook. So I told Zook, and we just, we actually made our way down to Paris, Tennessee, and then we just got connected with Barton, Josh, Nick Valente, and then it basically.
Yeah, that's a great networking thing. I actually was planning to be there. Me and Bob Wilson, Grumpy, he's one of my teammates. I'm part of one of his teams, and he used to be with the NADP a while back, and we were planning on going, but we ended up not being able to go because he wasn't feeling good. But I could have met you guys. Yeah, that was a great conference. I know, so close, so close. But maybe this year. I know Josh is doing another one up in Texas. Ooh. So yeah, I'm gonna try to go to that one. We'll see. Yeah. Well, both of you guys are very much interested in the cryptid field, and I know that most of us that are in this field. We've had some experiences since we were kids, and or we've had local legends and lore following us around and out where we live. Z baby, tell me a little bit about your background tonight. Z baby, yeah. Tell me how you kind of got into cryptids.
Come on, Zook, you got it. Zook,
okay. Are we frozen? Okay.
Zook,
make sure that's not mine.
Oh,
all right, here you go. So he's back. Okay. Tell me a little bit about your background if you're there. Can you hear me?
Hey Z, you there, buddy? Okay.
Okay. Well, if he's frozen, how about you tell me a little bit?
Zook, you there?
Zook?
There's Zook. Oh crap. Okay.
All right,
Well,
it's okay. Well, how about you, Drewski? Tell me a little bit about you, okay? When he comes back, he can talk to us.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So basically,
Tell me about yours because I've heard your story on your YouTube channel and it is pretty profound from when you were a kid. Let's hear about it.
talking about me or Zook? Is Zook still frozen?
You,
Okay,
Drewski.
okay.
He's still frozen. Yeah.
Okay,
Show
so
must go on.
Okay, so basically with me, it all started with me like when I was young. I was like, oh god, I was like I saw a lot of it all started with me seeing like a lot of like shadow creatures, shadow people, stuff like that. Because the house we lived in, it was pretty broke down and stuff like that. So my mom, she could have, my mom and my aunt, they were doing the best they could, and I love them to death for it. Holler at my mom and my aunt. Anyways, yeah. So with me, I always had like a sixth sense of like when something, even though I couldn't see it, but like spiritually inside. Oh, he's back.
He's back.
Look, you there?
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
I'm showing up all the time too.
All right. Yeah. Well, Drewski's telling us his story right now, so we're gonna let Drewski talk real quick, and then I'm gonna ask you again. Okay.
Sorry, bro. I didn't mean to cut you off, man.
It's okay.
Anyways, yeah. So
You're
basically, I was actually just sleeping on my couch, and I'm facing the stairs, and people just coming up and down the stairs, And,
like shadow figures or what?
Yep,
like ghosts?
Yep, shadow figures. Yeah, so it had me so scared and paralyzed I couldn't scream or anything. And then with that, I always heard like stuff like poltergeist knocking stuff off the counters and everything. And then not only that, like I'd be laying down on the couch a lot of the times, and we didn't have like an air conditioner in our house, so we'd always sleep with the open, but we have the screen door locked. And I woke up to something scratching on the screen door.
Oh my God.
And it was just like this, I don't know, it looked like a mix between, it almost reminded me of the dude from the Goonies. Hey, you guys!
Oh my God, Baby Ruth.
Yeah. But it reminded
Chunk,
me that,
right?
Yeah.
Chunk?
No, it
Is that his
wasn't
name?
Chunk, it was Sloth.
Oh, Chunk was the kid.
Yeah,
okay,
Chunk
Sloth.
was
He had the Baby
Shuffle.
Ruth.
Yeah.
Classic.
But yeah, it was a mixture between that and like when Jason Voorhees takes off his mask.
Oh my God, something out of like The Hills Have Eyes or something.
Yes.
It's horrible.
And then it was like smiling at me, and then it just took off running. I heard it run off the porch, and I was screaming.
Oh my God.
And then my mom came down.
That's terrifying.
And then my aunt looked outside like, there's nothing there. So yeah, that just really messed with me. And then later on, like when my dad used to pick me up, my dad is a big avid mountain man, a big hiker. He just we basically just throw on our backpacks and we just get lost in the woods for about a good day or two. And then we just come back. So he taught me a lot about like survival and stuff like that. And when we're out there, that's when I heard a lot of weird things out there, like a lot of like yelps, things that were parallel walking, but it was just him and I, the only ones out there.
Yeah, those bipedal footsteps, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
I know it all too well.
Oh yeah. But I didn't know anything about that. I was like, huh, that's weird. This is weird. I was ignorant and stupid. at the same time. I was like, are those hobos? I don't know what those were, but anyway. So then after that, I graduated and I got with my girlfriend at the time. She's my wife now. And there's Zook's baby. And so I took my wife out camping and to the spot that me and my dad usually go to, and it's a pretty public area, and there was nobody around whatsoever. Kept driving. No one's at the camp spots. We're like, what the freak is going on? So I finally ran into this guy that was fishing, and I got out of the truck. I was like, hey man, how you doing? He's like, hey, pretty good. And he turned, he had an AR slinged on him.
That's my kind of man right there, man.
Like,
I'll tell you what.
Haven't you heard? Oh, we're good?
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you're still here.
Okay.
You're good.
So anyways, so I was talking to the guy, and he's like, haven't you heard what's been going on here in Colorado in the mountains? I was like, no. He's like, there's been like a lot of people missing. there's been a lot of animal attacks and they can't figure out what's going on. So basically, if I was you, I would make sure that you have a weapon on you and that you guys be careful out here if you guys are camping. I didn't think anything of it. I was only 19. I was stupid. So me and my wife at the time, girlfriend, we set up camp, and I started a fire. We start cooking, and then we hear something running down the mountain. It sounded like a bulldozer just running down the mountain. And then it stops right at the creek bed, which was about 30 yards away from us. And then I heard something get in the water and come out. And my wife at the time was like, what was that? Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Well, on the other side of us was a dirt road. Well, I started hearing something walking on that dirt road.
Okay.
And I got like that primal feeling, like
fight or flight.
I'm like, this isn't right. And then as I was hearing that, I heard it stop. And then I heard the bushes next to us started kind of moving. And I was like, F that, we're out of here.
Yeah, too close for comfort. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with our tech tonight.
I think Tennessee Wi-Fi just sucks.
I don't know. It's usually me. Like, it's okay. It's okay. Hey, we're still here. We're good. Yeah, it's just something's going on tonight. I don't know, some kind of electricity in the air tonight, right?
Maybe it's the government.
Maybe it is. Oh, listen, my streams have been shut down several times, and there's some stories behind that.
Oh, here.
Yeah, Drewski, are you back? Are you back?
Okay,
it's a little slow.
I'm back.
There we go. Okay, you're back. We can hear you. All right, here we go.
Holy crap! Oh gosh,
there's something in the air tonight. I don't know what's going on.
I guess.
Oh,
yeah,
it must have been those beans.
That means that we're talking about some serious stuff, right?
Some serious juju.
Serious. Yeah. So you heard the wrestling around you and stuff. Did you guys pack up and just take off that night or what?
Yeah, we did. We're actually going to play it up, but I was like, I got that feeling. I'm like, you know what? No, let's just get out of here. And as we backed out, we heard that footsteps on the dirt road again. Almost like jogging. So I just hit it into gear and I took off in my Jeep and we never went back. So that happened. And then nothing really happened after that a couple years until I got into law enforcement. I was on the SWAT at the time for a certain place out in Colorado, and we used to help the prisons track inmates.
Yeah, like escape prisoners and stuff.
Yeah, so we're out there.
That sounds fun.
It was a lot of fun. So we're basically like running weapons for the guys who were tracking. That's basically what we did. And as we're out there practicing and all that, I got a glitch. We're good. Okay.
We're good.
Okay, so basically we're out there helping these guys track and all that, and practicing and doing our training matrices and all that. And one of my buddies said, hey, I was hearing some rustling as we're walking. Something's kind of keeping pace with us. Is it one of your guys? And he's like, all of a sudden he just stopped the tracker and he's like, let's turn around. Let's go back. Let's just go. Let's go. He knew something.
What is?
Oh man!
It's like the disappearing act of Space Out Radio tonight. I'm not sure what is going on. This is
Stuck
so
in that
weird.
Portal.
Yes.
How's that?
We're in a vortex here. Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
You're good. Drewski, you're back. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Again.
you're back. We're good.
10 times the charm.
Yeah, 10 times the charm. So basically, yeah. So this guy who was a tracker is like, hey, let's just turn around. Let's just go. So that was the heck's going on with that. So.
Wow.
And then after that, I got into like Bigfoot hunting and stuff because I wanted to kind of that whole thing kind of piqued my interest when I used to go camping and stuff a lot and caving. And I always knew there was something out there. I just didn't know what it was, but I didn't want to sound like I was crazy, because I didn't have a community at that time to talk to about this stuff. And I brought it up to certain people and like, Drew, what the hell's wrong with you? I was like, okay. So I kind of suppressed that.
Yeah. No.
Here we go again. Round 11. Here we go.
We're back. I know. Oh my
Oh,
gosh. Well, I understand because listen, I had been doing Bigfoot field research for 10 years before I ever went public with it. But the minute I went public with it, I swear to goodness, I was offered a radio show and all sorts of stuff. So, but it's because I worked in government for a long time, and I just wasn't comfortable talking about it. There wasn't a community that I knew of, other than my teammates and stuff, to really talk to. I wasn't really into going online, and the YouTube shows weren't so abundant back then, and all that kind of stuff. So, I understand exactly where you're coming from. I think a lot of us understand.
yeah. So I really didn't get a community until I moved to Tennessee, and then that's when I met Zook and a couple other guys, and it was one of the guys who was the head of a security team at our church knew my background. He got me on the team. Him and I were chit chatting, and he just asked the question. He out of nowhere, he just goes, "Hey, so what do you think about Bigfoot?" I was like,
Sounds like him.
I was like,
Oh,
I was like, is this a trick question? He's like, no, I'm just saying this, because your wife kind of talked to me a little about your background. So what'd you think? What kind of sightings did you have in Colorado? So I'm like, cool. I finally found somebody's. And then he told me, he's like, hey, I'm getting a sponsored Bigfoot hunting trip. I want you to go, but I want you to run security for it. And you get a couple guys, and I'm going to get a guy for the newspaper. I'm going to get a videographer. I'm going to get a photographer. And then at the same time, that's when Zook came in, because Zook was doing like the photography and all that stuff. So,
wow.
and then
that's how y'all met?
and that's how we met, was
so
on that.
so
So
Bigfoot
romantic,
hunting
I know.
trip.
Through Bigfoot. Oh my gosh. So you had to
Put those
team up.
relationships.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I like to thank Bigfoot for that. So anyways, so that happened
Sasquatch.
back in 2015. And it was funny. The first time me and Zook met, him and I went to this spot where we're all meeting to meet up to go. And Zook brought all his gear. And oh, here we go again. Is she frozen? She is frozen.
Probably for a moment.
Oh,
Dude, this must be crazy juicy stuff we're talking
yeah,
about.
I'm gonna take a picture.
Took a picture and it logged you out. I guess continue. Maybe people can hear us. I don't know.
What do you say, Z?
I guess keep continuing. Maybe we're still live.
I guess. Okay. So, anyways,
But I'm definitely listening.
Huntress, love you, girl. So, okay. So this is. Oh, she's back.
I'm back. I'm
Yes.
sorry, y'all. Now it's mine. What is going on tonight? This is so
Hey.
weird. I'm sorry. I
No, you're
froze. It happens.
All
Okay.
right, could you guys hear me still?
I can hear you. What is going on tonight? This is so
Oh,
weird.
no. That's
It's a sign.
Okay.
We're doing
Yeah.
great. Doing great.
We're everybody act normal. Okay. Just kidding.
Act normal. I'm gonna plug
Act
this in.
I don't even know how to do that.
I don't either. I don't know what to do with my hands, right? So, yeah. So I'm sorry, I totally froze. And so, but you were talking about when you guys had gone and you guys kind of met up and went to, it was a Bigfoot expedition, right?
Yeah, it was actually in Lexington, Kentucky, Mammoth Cave National Park.
Okay.
Yeah. So, anyway, so we met there, and it was funny because Zook, all he brought out was a long sleeve and a vest, and I'm like, bro, it's going to be like 40 to 30 degrees out there. Where's your jacket? And he's like, I totally forgot about this. I
was so stoked to go. Little
Yes.
things.
So I was.
That's funny.
So call me kind of like anal when it comes to preparedness. I always
Yeah.
bring 2 of everything. So I was like, hey, Zook, I got an extra jacket. Here you go. So that's
Me
how we
too.
kind of got that. That's kind of how we got that bond.
We got to share
Yes.
the jacket. Yeah.
You
Yeah,
shared a
so-
jacket.
We shared
Together.
a jacket. Yeah.
You're in one sleeve, I'm in the other. Sorry, go on.
Yep. So anyways, yeah. So so we drove a bunch of people. And then so Zook, you want to take it from there, bud?
Yeah, I mean it was
Yeah.
it was pretty crazy there, and it was neat. Like I don't think there was like a super close connection the first time we met. I'm just like, dude, this guy's really cool and nice because we didn't really know each
Yeah.
other.
He's got a soft jacket, right? I'm
Yes.
just kidding.
A very soft heart, yes. Yeah, I'm like, but the first night we went. I'm gonna call it night hiking, but whenever we went like night hiking for squats, like our the buddy who did it with us, or who headed up the whole thing, his wife is an incredible singer. And it's
Okay.
something about I guess a female's hormones or something that can help lure the Sasquatch closer. And
Oh,
two, and then something about singing as well, because it goes back to like
okay.
Native American stuff. Um, and anywho, yeah, she started doing that. We're in the woods. We did that the first night. Nothing crazy. And then there was a moment where, of course, he asked Drew to step in the back and just to kind of be the tail.
Okay,
And
right. For protection, right?
yeah,
Security. Right.
dude, and then we had this other guy with us who was I think he was a pilot for the government at the time. But he was really cool. So it got real quiet. Our buddy started making these loud tree knocks. We were waiting for voices. There was singing going on. A guy brought a guitar. I mean, we had a freaking
Singing.
band. It was crazy.
It sounds like you guys had like a party going on out there.
And then you heard, yeah, and then you heard something like rustling, and you're like, nah, no telling what that is.
I
Dead
wasn't
quiet.
really keen to it because people were slamming back beers, and I'm like, I'm here trying to protect you guys. You guys are making my job a lot
Dude, man,
worse.
yeah.
Yeah, alcohol and big footing doesn't mix very well sometimes.
it doesn't.
Yeah,
I was just
especially if you're
counting
trying
how much
to
I felt.
you're trying to protect everybody and they're all drunk. That's not fun. Yeah.
Well, the one part that was really funny, I thought, was when this guy who was head of the expedition, his name was Cameron. He used to work for the government too, but actually, he actually said we had about like 15 people there, right? It was about 15. So, anyways,
Yeah.
he set us up in like teams of two. So 2 people went ahead, and then like 3 minutes later, 2 people followed, and it basically broke up like that. But me and Zook were like the last ones. I'm like, why do I always got to get the
Okay.
rear all the time? Because I know
Because
how
you're
I know
you're
how
the
scary-
toughest. That's why.
Because I know how
You're the
scary it is.
toughest.
He's
If
gonna
you,
try to get
especially
the-
if you're armed, you need to be in the back.
Well, I wasn't. But
Oh,
anyways,
okay.
anyways, so me and Zook were just talking, and then we heard something rustling, and something dropped from a tree. Boom! And me and Zook were like, "What the crap was that?" So I was this close of starting to pop off my shotgun, just as a
Right.
warning round.
Yeah.
And if I would have done that, I was this close to saying, "Cameron, they're everywhere." But yeah, that wouldn't have been too good. But
That would have been
We
that
ran
would have been
across-
terrifying for everybody. It would have been. Yeah.
But the only thing that was scary was the second night we were driving around in the mountains, and we ran across this SUV. This SUV's doors were flung open. A baby carrier was out. Clothes were
What?
everywhere. Yeah, clothes were everywhere. So we got out, like, what the heck's going on? And it was about like 3:00 in the morning. So we're like,
Oh.
something's not right. So we all got out. I got my Ben did the same thing. Well, I'm on the driver's side, right, of this SUV,
Yeah.
and there's bushes and trees, and the mountain backs up and into that. Well, I heard a growl, a deep growl, and it shook my insides.
Yes?
Uh-oh. Right at the moment.
Yes?
This
Don't leave us
is
hanging.
getting- I know, right? Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh, he's gone.
no!
I'll
Right
finish it. I'll
at
finish
the
the story.
pinnacle of that story. I'm dying to know. Wait, okay,
know, that's so
Zook, were
epic.
you there
Well, it's-
too? Were you there too, or was it
Yeah,
just?
I was actually in
Drewski?
front, and
Okay.
he and the pilot were right behind me, and I heard the
Okay.
growl as well. And
Okay.
if any of your listeners, I'm sure they know what infrasound is.
Yes,
infra-
we know what infrasound is. Yes.
Oh, perfect. Well, that
Okay.
happened. You have to have Drew tell you the other story that was more recent with him and
Okay.
our buddy T. Like,
I'm
it was
back.
freaking ridiculous. Oh, I was about to tell
Okay.
your juicy story.
Oh, anyways,
Okay.
yeah. So back to the. Anyways, yeah. So we heard a growl, and okay, I'll just carry it on from here. You guys can hear me?
Reptilian
Good?
signal jams. That's what somebody in the chat said.
Seriously, man, come on. You know where I'm at. Let's go.
I know, my internet just keeps
So
shutting
anyways,
out.
yeah.
It's
So
weird.
anyways,
I mean, I froze up too. What the heck?
I haven't had this
I know.
happen.
yeah.
Anyway.
So we heard a growl, infrasound, and then we heard something running through the woods. And Ben, who was a
No.
skeptic, who was that government pilot,
Yeah.
did you hear that? And I backed up, pulled my pistol out, and I was backing up. Well, Zook has the camera, and he's like, "Oh, cool, let's check this out." And he goes,
Let's
straight
get a
into this
camera.
thing.
That's a good idea.
So I grab him. I'm like, "What are you doing?" And I pull him back. And then Cameron's on the phone with the park rangers and stuff, trying to figure out what's going on, because it had been a family that was here. And
Okay.
it looks like literally something. Rip the doors off, pull these people. You got everything strung out everywhere. So the guy Cameron was like, "Hey, Drew, why don't you, Ben, Zook and some other guy, why don't you guys go down this trail because it leads to a river and see if anybody's down there. Okay, cool. So we're going down there and it's just quiet and we're not hearing nothing. No insects, no nothing. So we're like, okay, this is getting weird. So then about 5 minutes down the trail, Cameron calls again on the comms and he's like, hey, don't worry about it. We're getting some rangers down here, so let's just get out of here. All right, so we hiked back, got in the trucks, and we took off. And then basically that was kind of the highlight of that. But the thing that kind of freaked me out the most was in this area, it was like a mountain island. We literally had to take a trolley across
A ferry.
on our vehicles, a ferry across.
Oh.
And it opened at 7 in the morning, and then it closed 7 at night. So you have a 12-hour. So if anything happens, you're on your own.
Oh my gosh.
So I was like,
I've heard some
this
horror
is,
stories
this is
like
getting
that
kinda eerie.
before. Yeah. Wait,
Yeah,
so the
I
vehicle
know.
was on that island, or is this a different location? The vehicle with
No,
the
it was on
baby
the island.
carrier and
It was on
everything.
the-
It was on the island?
Yeah.
Well, so did you
It was on
never
the
you
island,
never
yeah.
found the family? You never found the baby? You guys just kind of left it there?
Didn't hear anything about it actually. It's been
Really?
Anything
years.
about it, like, yeah, the Rangers said they deal with it, and that was that. They told us to get, so that was that.
Oh my gosh. Well, there's a lot of missing persons cases
Yep.
out of national parks and places like that are in the wilderness. What's really suspicious to me is like when my team goes out and we do Bigfooting and paranormal field research and stuff, there are certain national forests, let's just say, state parks that they don't even require you to like check in or anything, which is fine. But it makes you wonder, like, if they don't want a record of you being there, is it because there's missing persons clusters there and they don't want to be responsible for you if you go missing?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know, but also too, I'm sure you listen to Missing 411, right?
Absolutely, David Politis. Listen, I talk about him all the time, and I've read at least one of the books, and I follow him. Yeah, for sure. Actually, my team we do research around places where there are missing persons clusters, and we've actually encountered what we consider to be a portal and stuff. So, yeah, we've documented it and sent people inside of it and everything. So, yeah, it's been a it's a wild ride, but we're just trying to kind of figure out where these missing people are going, and that sounds like a prime example right there of potentially missing people, including
Yeah.
children.
Oh, what was it? 51. You always have to carry. You dang right, buddy. That's why I always carry.
Amen.
All the
I
time.
say me too. Well, see, because people like us, like we know what's out there. There's missing people. There's cryptids growling in the woods that's coming out of nowhere. You don't know what's coming up on you. So I think it's important for everybody to have some means of protection when you're out in the field
Oh, yeah.
or out in the woods. Yeah, but that's just me. Yeah.
Well,
Well,
okay.
we got cryptid warfare on, so I'm assuming you guys protect yourselves. I'm just saying.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Hey, Zook, what were you saying about tea?
What was it? Oh yeah, that was right when you chimed in. Well, I was just telling Jessica, just whatever you and T, that recent I guess expedition you went on. I wasn't able to make it, but it was just you two. But it should have been way more. Like, it was a
Yeah, I
really
was
close
talking to-
call.
Yeah. I was talking to Nick about that, and
Nick Valente, our
Yeah, I
friend
was
from
talking
the
about-
International
Nick
Dogman
Valente.
Project. Yeah.
Holler, Nick.
What's
Uncle
up, Nick? Yeah.
Nick.
Shout out
Yes.
Nick V.
Yeah, so basically, one of the guys, in a short story, this guy, he was a skeptic I took. So him and I went up. He went on a couple Bigfoot hunts with me. We went out to, oh, good Lord, it's Mountain City in Tennessee. It's like at the tip northeastern part of Tennessee.
Okay.
And this lady, she was getting a lot of like, he was on like this Facebook forum. And this lady was in that city, and she was getting a lot of Bigfoot activity out there, to where it was getting pretty scary. So we talked to her. She told us the area she was in. So we went out there. They were like, if you guys just go up like these logging trails, be careful though.
Ooh.
There's a lot of homeless out there. There's a lot of homeless that have gone missing too. So I'm like, oh, cool. We're on the right path.
Perfect.
So, yeah, so we go out there basically as far as the truck can go, and then we get out, we hike in a little bit, and then we set up camp. And I always set up like a 50-foot perimeter around our campsite, just in case heads up on what's coming, at least.
Yeah, that's smart. You do booby
So-
traps and stuff? Or
Yeah,
just
so I did
check it?
that,
Yeah.
and so I did that, and so basically we just chilled out, and then about like 11 o'clock hit at night, we hit the fire going, we start getting something to eat, and then my other friend Paul, he was going through some stuff, so he basically checked out. He went in the he went in his tent and fell asleep. And me and my friend Taylor were talking, and I hear something coming down the mountain, heavy, coming hauling down the mountain, and then
Yeah.
it just stops. It's like about 50 yards out from us. And my buddy Taylor's like, "What was that?" I'm like, "Oh, game on. Here we go." So we're
Uh-oh.
just listening, and then it starts to rain a little bit. So as we're focused on what came down the mountain, on the opposite side, I hear like chatter and something running, like that running along the perimeter line.
Yeah.
And as something's running along the perimeter line, we focus over this way. Next thing we know, the perimeter alarm goes off on the other side. So we get guns
yeah?
up, we're faced that way, like, hey, kind of calling whatever's out there. Nothing. So we kind of go towards the alarm. That way I can like reset it. Then that perimeter alarm goes off on the other side. Then we're hearing knocks, we're hearing like chattering, we're running around. They're basically, in my opinion, they were just testing our perimeter.
They were messing with you. That's what they were doing. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we were hearing like we were both hearing like bluff charges, like something running and then stopping, but it was just out of sight. So I was getting pissed. I'm like, it's bull crap. So the fire died down. I threw on my nods, which is night vision, night vision goggles. I threw those on, and we're just hanging out. Well, I go back in my tent. I get in the prone position and just chilling out. Well, my buddy Taylor, all the on his side of the tent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, my friend Taylor, he's a big dude. He's over 6 foot, over 200 some pounds, big, burly lumberjack guy. Love him to death. Well, he didn't know anything about infrasound. So basically, I hear like this zombie, and he's throwing up.
What? A person
Yeah.
or a cryptid?
No. Taylor's
Okay.
throwing up. My friend Taylor,
Okay.
he's throwing up.
Was it the infrasound maybe?
Well, that's what I was thinking, because everything's happening on his side. And he gets up, he's throwing up. He's like, dude, I feel dizzy. I don't know what's wrong with me. Next thing we know, the alarms start going off everywhere.
Oh my gosh.
So I
a
said,
mess.
this. I threw my AR up. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And actually, I know we hear these things running, running away.
Oh wow.
And I told my friend Taylor, hey, just sit back down, man. So I go set the alarm back. I chill. Odds on, I didn't sleep the whole night at all. I just heard whoops. I heard wood knocks. I still hear them pacing. I had my friend Taylor sleep. My buddy Paul wakes up. He goes back to sleep. I'm just up the whole night, just chilling with like my nods on, just looking the whole time. That's all I did.
Oh my gosh.
So after that, I was like, when morning hits, we're packing up. We're out of here.
Wow.
So I'm still up. The sun comes up. Taylor wakes up. Let's go look around real quick before we head out. Let's just go see what's going on. So we go out over the perimeter lines. We see it looks like someone has a 4-wheeler and they ran through the freaking brush, trees, broken, everything. And so we follow that. And what sucks though was I wanted to get a foot cast, but there was leaves everywhere, so we couldn't do anything. It was muddy, it was leafy, branches. So we basically follow that trail. It goes down into a holler. We come up the holler and nothing but mountains as far as we can see. So we're like, of course, And then my friend Paul hits us up on the walkie-talkies. He's like, hey, where you guys at? And I was like, hey, why don't you make breakfast? We're on the way.
You hadn't slept all night, right? So you were still, your adrenaline was probably pumping and all that. Yeah. Now, so you guys do a lot of your stuff out. Are y'all in East Tennessee? Because East Tennessee is near and dear to my research heart, actually. Yeah. Okay. So are you guys familiar with Oak Ridge Laboratories?
Yep. The Hydro Collider, just like
the Hydron Collider. That's right.
Ooh.
Yeah. I was curious. I was going to ask y'all about that tonight and to find out what your thoughts were on that, because there have been unspecified animal attacks or accounts of packs of wild dogs killing people and ripping them to shreds, like Tony Aarons and Amber. Miller, yeah. Now I've remote viewed that. You guys, I do remote viewing and stuff, and my data suggested it was a zombie bear that attacked them. Okay, something really weird. And
like a
but
cocaine bear, zombie bear?
yeah, kind of like
thinking about
that, but
that,
a
yeah.
zombie bear. Absolutely, we all have that too. But there's a lot of high strangeness out in East Tennessee. So tell me
yeah.
what y'all think about that.
Well, for one, I believe it. Two, one of the Dogman festival you could have met. His name's Tony Merkel. He
Yeah.
lives out in that area. His neighbor works at that facility. So they were drinking. That guy slipped
inside
up.
scoop. Okay.
Yeah, that guy slipped up.
What did he say?
What he told him was they were just hanging out at a birthday party, chilling out. Well, that guy had a little too much to drink, and he's like, "Yeah, I work at that place." And he's like, "Okay, so what do you do there?" And he's like, "Honestly, my job is to shoot whatever comes out of that portal."
Shut
And he's
the
like,
front door. Are you
and he's
serious?
like, "Nah, bull crap." So a week goes by. They go
No
to like another
way.
birthday party. Well, he sees him
Okay.
again. He sees that individual again. And he's like, "Hey man, do you remember like what we were talking about that day? You said something." And he's like, "Oh yeah. Like I said, my job
Yeah.
is to literally shoot what comes out of those portals. That's my job."
I love this. World exclusive
So-
right here on Spaced Out Radio.
Yeah. So
Right.
so after that, I was like, knowing a lot of guys in the agency and stuff like that, like
Yeah.
they have their own like spec ops, black ops, just like Nick
Yeah.
Valente is a part of those guys,
Yeah.
back in the day. And I totally believe it. They're doing a lot of things there that the public don't know about. And, it's,
Right.
yeah.
Well, they that was where they did the Manhattan Project and stuff. I mean, there's all sorts of secret
Yeah.
like black ops programs going on there, but they work in conjunction with CERN out of Switzerland, and they have a project called Alice, and it's got that's an acronym for something with the Large Hadron Collider there too.
Yeah.
And I believe that. I 100% believe there is a hadron collider there. I believe they're all over the world, actually. There's not just that one. And that really does open up portals. And God knows what's going on up there. I mean, we've got so many cryptids and accounts of things like I was seeing like the zombie bear, in reports of our military. And maybe it's not even military. It could just be some kind of some special agency. Having funding to do programs where there are chimeras and weird. I guess cryptids result out of these chimeras or whatever. I don't know. But a lot of it's in East Tennessee, fellas, right where you guys are located.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you a little something. Speaking of that, like with the hydro collider and all that in the facility there, I do believe that there's a lot of underground like that they do things just like
Yes.
the Dulcie base, Area 51, stuff like that. A really quick thing, when I was on attack team back in Colorado, I'm not going to say who was it for, when, and all that, but I seen underneath the International Denver Airport. I seen that. I seen what it is. I seen what it looks like.
Okay. Can
We
you tell us?
escorted. Real quick, yeah. We escorted a guy. I'm not saying who. We escorted a guy in. He had to meet with somebody. We got stopped by. And as soon as they opened up the doors underneath the Denver National Airport, I seen a train, a railway. Well, doing some more digging, there's railways that run underneath the United States, from NORAD to Denver International Airport to California to Washington D.C. And after the show, I'll send you some stuff that I was doing some research on that my buddy sent me, that it shows the layout. It basically shows kind of like a blueprint layout of how those so yeah. So
Amazing. This is amazing. This is world exclusive. I can't even talk. World exclusive tonight on Space Out Radio. Wow. So I guess the best place to go hang out in East Tennessee is at a bar, huh? Where people work it.
Yeah, I grew up in Bristol, Tennessee. So yeah, that's all they do now. All my high school friends, they just go to the bar, it seems.
So just go up to Oak Ridge, Tennessee, and find your local watering hole and get the real scoop, right?
local watering
Wait till
holes.
about midnight, right? When
That
everybody's been
sulfur's
drinking all day.
delicious.
Yeah, I mean, there is. I'm sure that they're under some sort of NDAs and national security, documents where they have to sign things and not talk about this. But I got to say, portals are a big topic now, and I know I've heard you guys talk about portals on your shows, and my team has actually documented a portal where we sent 2 of our teammates into it and then back out, and they talked about it. it's a thing. I mean, there's a lot of things coming in and out of our reality, our third dimensional density, and things like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I mean, you guys are called cryptid warfare, and I mentioned earlier in the show. I feel like there is a battle against good and evil right now,
It is.
and I think it's a spiritual war. How do y'all feel about that? Especially you, Zook. What do you think about that?
No, 100%. I battled a lot with that growing up, seeing a lot of things like something that happened when me and my sister were really little. We were probably about 5 when we got a butter knife because we heard tapping within the wall, and it sounded like somebody tapping their fingers in various places. And then we got the butter knife when we cut through. It was a really thin panel or whatever, I guess cheap house. But yeah, something came out of the wall that was a straight up mist, and then it formed a person and just walked away. Nothing scary. But
Wow.
I didn't say anything about it until we were probably like 14. And she said, "Yeah, you remember that time whenever blah blah blah." I'm like, that actually happened. But then many other weird things from shadows to hearing demons and a lot of this crap growing up, and that's why I'm open. And then I became a Christian in June 2009, because I dated a witch, and there was things I literally like. I know that I went through I'm going to call it a brief possession. Just because I was doing all these things, and I was literally the backseat driver to my own body and mind. Like, it was crazy. And I'm like, this is not me. But it was only while I was in that house.
Yeah.
She would just invite a lot in there. But anyway, yeah. And then it was cool, as Drew mentioned about finding a community of like-minded, believers in this kind of stuff. And I'm like, dude, this is a spiritual battle. Like, literally. And then after hearing this, the roommate who practiced a lot of this witch stuff, she would do a lot of out of body stuff, and it's incredibly dangerous. So freaking dangerous to do that stuff, because you're literally like,
Yeah.
you're a soul with a body, and it's just an open shell for anything to enter once you exit it. But yeah, I definitely believe that. And like, even with oh yeah, somebody said this earlier, and I just want to touch on this. And I learned this at the Dogman conference, but I thought it was really cool. But that Dogman and all these other creatures, I believe they're interdimensional beings.
Yes.
And there was a guy who woke up from like having a nightmare, and then all of a sudden he saw a Dogman at the foot of his bed. So he instantly pulled out his revolver and just unloaded on it. And he said all it did, it just dissipated and disappeared. But it clearly struck something, because those like the bullets did not go through the wall or anything. Like, it struck it straight. So
Wow.
I don't know how that.
Interesting.
It was very man. I really, if you're able to go to one again or see one
Yeah, I remember that.
virtually, it's amazing. All the stories, like, it was so cool.
Wow. That's amazing. Okay, so there is a supernatural element to these cryptids, and I have been saying that from the get-go. From the minute that I went public with my research, I was kind of like guns blazing with, like, I believe Bigfoot is either interdimensional, or they're able to disappear before our eyes. That's what my team and we've experienced personally, and it could just be that we don't have the rods and the cones in our eyes to be able to perceive what they're doing, where they're going. I don't know. Out of all these years I've researched, I still don't know exactly what's going on. But there is a supernatural element to this, and there is a spiritual, angle to all this, in my opinion.
Well, I definitely believe in, especially I've talked about this before, but yeah, just frequencies. There's so much.
Yeah.
So much that goes on. Like, the frequencies have to be just right, and like, with a Glimmerman and stuff like that. Like, these how things can become invisible that we cannot see. It just disrupts our own personal spiritual frequency. So, I mean, there are things that we can that can help strengthen those senses, and blockers that we can even put in our house, and I'm sure certain gadgets we can wear and stuff like that. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that's wild. And you guys both have had experiences with the paranormal. Now, I got to say, when I was a young woman in my 20s, I lived in a haunted house myself, and I also saw there was a black mist that floated through my house, and it had a consciousness to it or something, because as it floated past me, it shoved my body down. It pushed me down into my cabinets in my kitchen, and it went right past me into the closet in my living room. And so it was very scary. It was a very haunted house. It was built on the ground where the Civil War had been fought in downtown Atlanta, and the city had been burned down. Yeah. So I think that a lot of times our land, especially battlegrounds, and I know you guys did a show on, you had a guest on that was talking about Civil War ghosts and things like that. And I've experienced that personally. out at a battlefield. I live in Georgia, and we have a lot of battlefields out here. Matter of fact, I did a show last week on old green eyes from the Chickamauga battlefield out in North Georgia, and that's an entity. It was kind of demonic a little bit, but battlegrounds, places where there's a lot of bloodshed, really foster like a demonic presence or something very evil. It seems. Yeah. What do you guys think? Because
spirituality of it.
Yeah.
Like with the whole demonic realm, like a couple guys like Zook, like a John Ramirez, how he talks about how if you're making sacrifices to demons and stuff, of course, you need blood, and that's a perfect area to spill blood is at a war zone, especially
exactly.
And that's just a hotbed for that, and they just thrive.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I could not believe the amount of casualties there in Chickamauga. 34,000 men died within a 3-day period on that land. And to this day, people go out there and commit suicide. Okay. Which is really, that blows my mind. I mean, but, there's something to it. It's almost as though when I was remote viewing the area, I was hearing I remote viewed another place down the road, and they were saying that the land required blood. It requires blood. So it's just, there's a lot of like satanic stuff going on there and stuff too. So it was not pretty. It was not a comfortable place to be. And I wouldn't want to go there at nighttime,
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Kind of reminds me of one of my buddies. He actually used to be a Satanist, and he talks about how, oh boy, when the whole Satanist thing going on, like if there's anything that happens in certain areas, demons can actually claim that ground when it comes to battlefields, when it comes to places that are, or anything that's hexed. Like I call them atmospheric demons. They actually claim that ground until that ground's broken. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow. Well, and not only was the Civil War fought there, and they said that by the end of the Civil War, or the end of that battle there were so many people dead that it took months and months to bury them all, and they were buried. They could have gone 19 men deep, shoulder to shoulder for 4 miles. You guys.
Man.
I mean, imagine the trauma that happened there. Imagine the pure emotion and trauma and hand-to-hand combat and all that kind of stuff. It's very traumatic. And so, yes, that land is very haunted there. Much like a lot of these battlefields all over the country. And not only that, but there were like Native American land disputes going on there before that happened. And so I think these are places where people go, they do commit suicide. And there are potentially like rituals going on there at night when nobody's looking, that kind of stuff. So yeah, we live in there's a spiritual warfare going on now, and that kind of area does attract cryptids. Okay, and so that's where I'm making this connection with cryptid warfare, the spiritual warfare. There's a lot of cryptids being seen right now. Why do you guys think there's so many more like cryptid sightings right now?
Z, you want this one?
Oh man, I know we don't have a lot of time.
It's okay. We got about 4 minutes.
That's perfect. Well, I'll talk really fast anyway. But I believe whenever these portals opened, and over time, there's a lot of limited resources for all the things that are coming through them. And I don't know a whole lot about interdimensional, like how they eat and stuff, but I'd assume going through portals would actually make you hungry because you're leaving one dimension going to another. So I don't know how the metabolisms, if they work any differently. But anyway, I ever heard a story of a woman who lived out way in the country, way out west with her husband, and they would like literally hear like a really loud, I think it was like a loud siren or something, and they would literally see these cryptids go around her property. And I mean, they didn't bother her. She would also just preach them away in like the name of Jesus. And it's weird. She would literally see BEKs, even wide-eyed kids, like literally just following the perimeter of like her fence line.
Yeah.
And she would see the Sasquatch, even white Sasquatch, which I didn't really think were this far south, but it could be an old man Sasquatch.
We have white Sasquatches. We have there's
okay.
Alabama white thing in Alabama.
Oh,
we have one in North Georgia too. Yeah.
Oh,
Alabama
okay,
white
nice.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like wow, thing.
Thing with the THANG. Yeah.
Well, going off that tangent on what Zook was saying, I was listening to this guy named Justin Fall real quick. He talked about what the whole Area 51, right? Before that whole crash landing, like they were doing testing out there and stuff like that, and this government agency that was there, they were actually dabbling into witchcraft and stuff. And the problem with that is he was saying was that that are opened, the only way you can close it is the person who opened it. Well, the problem was the guy who opened it, the next day he died in an explosion. So after that happened, all these aliens and saucers kept coming down, the Roswell crash, all these things happened, and it's never been closed. And then you got Skinwalker
That
Ranch
was on
right
purpose.
there.
I bet that was on purpose.
Oh, yeah, totally. Anyways,
it left it wide open. Yeah, it is. It's like Skinwalker Ranch. My team researches a place we call the Skinwalker Ranch of the South. At an undisclosed location somewhere here in the South. And we have all the activity just like they have at Skinwalker Ranch. Yeah. We've been researching that area for a long time. And this stuff is real, and the entities are real, and we don't go out there conjuring stuff. We go out there and observe. Okay. And I would never do that. And most of the men, I mean, everybody on my team is we're of faith. We're all, Christian and things like, we're not out there doing rituals and stuff like that to try to get these things to come out. You just don't know. You don't know what you're going to conjure up and stuff. Exactly. And that stuff scares me to death.
You home too.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Well, I've brought things back home to my house before when I was out there, like orbs and stuff like that have shown up in my home after I've been out in the field. So it's important to shut all these things down, protect yourself, surround yourself in the white light. And they say, if you're having even an alien abduction to pray, and it'll make them go away sometimes. Yeah. Now, this has been amazing, you guys. I'm sorry, this hour flew by. It's already it's already time to call it a night, you guys. So where can everybody find you guys? What's your website? What's your YouTube? And your social media?
Z, baby, you want to get this?
Yeah, I'll say it. I'm going to put Little Man down, but I'll definitely be on for the after hours. So let's see, Cryptid _warfare _podcast on Instagram, and then our YouTube channel, I believe, is just Cryptid Warfare.
Actually, it's Z Baby and Drewski.
It's not, because it was hard to find it. Yeah, it was hard to find that today.
Good
I was
gravy
looking
on
for
cheese.
it.
I need to work on
it's
that.
Okay.
I told you the whole time I looked at it, I'm like, that doesn't look right.
Yeah. It's Z Baby and Drewski on YouTube.
And then it's the same with our Facebook. I think it's just Cryptid Warfare. No, wait, it's probably Z Baby. Yeah, I need to work on technology stuff.
Yes. Well, okay. Well, everybody, I could not find your YouTube until I went to your website. So everybody go to cryptidwarfare.com. Yep. And there's a link that takes you straight to their YouTube channel, to all their social media. And also, Drewski, you've got you do amazing artwork with cryptids and things like that. So y'all go follow him on Instagram at Drew's Tags, okay? And do that. And Drewski, tell me about these Paracons you guys are doing. I know we've got this one in East Tennessee coming up.
Oh yeah, he asked us to go down there, so we're like, yeah, we're gonna go down there, hang out, interview some people, and just have a good time, and just make connections, and then we're gonna be over in Kentucky in November for the Crypticon. We're going to be
Crypticon.
I'm going to be selling my art, and we're going to be doing our podcast there. So it's going to be a good time.
Awesome. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. Okay, well, keep me posted. I will put that all over my social media when you guys go do that stuff. It's a blessing to be able to network with people like you guys and to hear your stories. I mean, we did not even scratch the surface tonight. Okay, I know we have so much more to talk about. So I really hope that you'll come back and hang out with me some more. Z baby, what's up? Yes, I want you guys to come back to Spaced Out Radio and even over at the Cryptid Huntress. Y'all come back and hang out with me, okay? Yep. And we'll talk cryptids. Maybe I'll even see you guys out in the field sometime. We can go do some Bigfooting or something. Yeah. Z baby, thank you for being here so much. You guys are the coolest. And so everybody at Spaced Out Radio, you guys go subscribe to their social media and their YouTube channel, and y'all keep up the good work and be safe out there, okay?
Appreciate it.
It was awesome meeting you guys. Y'all have a great night, and good luck with all your Paracons, and come back. We're going to hang out some more. Okay?
Definitely. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, fellas. Thank you. Okay. All right, everybody. Well, that was awesome. Don't forget that right after this show, After Hours is going live right this minute. You can join them for the next 3 hours tomorrow night. I have Darkwoods coming on Spaced Out Radio. We're going to be talking about his Dogman and Sasquatch experiences and the portal he has on his property tomorrow night, 10 p.m. But for now, I'm the Cryptid Huntress, Jessica Jones. I'm heading off the trail tonight. This has been an amazing show. I hope you guys will come back and see me tomorrow. Bye.